Okay, so Petra, back to you. So your question was how to get from stage two of contemplation into really selling my offer. I'm a coach for women who are overwhelmed with the duty of taking care of their elders. Okay, so stage two of contemplation. What's stage one? What's stage three?
I was like, I'm completely new to your program, Mark. I just enrolled, but I bought the point of view sessions, which I highly recommend. This was like really electrifying for me. So it's really, I can really recommend it. I'm from Germany, by the way. Yeah. So, and you were in there talking about the 6 cycles of change where people go through. And the first one is like the pre-contemplation, not really knowing that they had and not wanting to change anything. And the second one is, okay, they know there is a problem, but they don't take any action. And the main topic with my area is I'm a coach for women who take care of their elders, and I know all of the problems about the guilt, the overwhelm, the duty. Yeah. So, and I also wrote a book about it. It's in German. It's about how to survive taking care of your elders, so it's a very practical guide. So I know there is, and every time I talk about it, people say, wow, that is great work you do. What a great niche. Everything's fine, but then I hear nothing from them. It's like, thank God I don't need you right now. And all the other stuff comes up, like which are inherent to their situation. I have to do it on my own. This is in the family. Why would someone else help me? And I don't know where to begin. And I'm really caught in this. I'm doing this work for companies, for employee assistants, and they really employ me for these webinars and workshops. But that's a different handle because they want to keep their employees happy. So I really want to work with my private clients and always get this, oh, great. And even if I get a referral so many times, oh, I have a friend, she could use you. She will give you a call. Never, ever did anyone really reach out and call me. And I'm kind of trying to find out what's the reason and how I can overcome it.
Beautiful. Thank you. First of all, thank you for the work, because I think, looking at the age of a lot of us here, we're familiar with this one at some level. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, in the chat, what I would invite is if everyone wants to type Petra, all caps, colon, and then follow that with any ideas you have for Petra, any suggestions, like what do you think? What just intuitively jumps out to you is, I bet you this is why people aren't buying, and here's what you might do. So please feel free to throw any ideas in. While you're doing that, I just want to go over this. This is Prochaska and DiClemente's model of change, 6 stages. This is really worth looking into. Here's the very short course on it. It's the idea that we start here with pre-contemplation, right? So somebody has a symptom, but they some behavior they want to change, but they've got no intention of changing it. They're not even thinking about changing it. It's not on their mind. They've got anger issues, but they're not really, yeah, I got anger issues, but they kind of minimize it. Maybe it's just not on their radar. And then at stage 2, contemplation, it's now on their radar. They're thinking about it, right? They're where there's a problem exists, but they've got no commitment to action. Like, boy, I got to really deal with my anger issues. But that's different than being committed to it and do something. Stage 3, this is important. This is in between contemplation and action, right? Action is they are actively modifying their behavior. But in between, people often go through a preparation phase where they're, okay, I'm going to take action. I'm going to do that like next week. I've got to get things in order. They're not doing it, but they're getting ready to do it. They're psychologically amping themselves up for it. Right. And then there's maintenance, and then they relapse, of course, at some point, and the cycle begins again. So one of the critical things with this, just in terms of you want to get better results with your clients, you've got to know which stage they're at when you're talking to them, and or market to them at the stage that you want to reach them at. Because
Yeah.
if you're talking with somebody who's in contemplation and you're trying to get them to action, you're talking to them as if they're in the action phase, it doesn't work. Because when they're in contemplation, you actually have to help them with the contemplation, not help them with action. You actually have to help them think it through. And if they're in preparation, you have to help them with the preparation, not try to jump them forward to action. A lot of coaches are trying to get people in pre-contemplation into action. And you see the insanity. You skip 2 steps. Okay, so that's the basic idea. So these people are in contemplation, they're aware. But here's the thing, I think they're aware. Their point of view and your point of view are probably different. So they are, what's their symptom? They're overwhelmed, they're burning out. It's kind of
They're
that thing.
overwhelmed, burning out. They have bad conscience all the time, health problems. The thinking of no matter what, it's not enough. Nobody can help me, and I have to do this on my own. Otherwise, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
This is really inherent to the whole problem.
Yeah, there's a feeling I'm just kind of fucked. I'm doomed here.
Yeah, kind of. And nobody can help me. And what could she help me with? And so it's really, and
Yeah.
I don't have the time for, I don't have any time for any extra.
Yes. Okay.
And yeah.
Right. So hiring a coach, like there's more work when I need less. And
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got that. Now, if you were to take a couple minutes, just could you tell us, what do you think is really going on here? What do you think, like they think what's happening is I'm just screwed because I'm overwhelmed, so there's nothing I can do. So in 2 minutes, please give us your little TED Talk. What do you think is really going on here? What's your sort of diagnosis? What's your prescription? Go.
Okay. Well, did you know how your expectations of yourself and others are directly linked to your overwhelm while taking care of your parents? And do you know that, did you know that your childhood upbringing and the struggles you had with your siblings when you were kids make it so hard taking care of your parents today and really ruin your life? And so this is one of the reasons. So once you get clear on your expectations, and most of all, once you get clear on why you are taking care of your parents, this liberates you and frees up so much energy. I always say you do not have to take care of your parents. This is the first chapter in my book. You do not have to take care of your parents, but you can choose to. And as soon as you choose it, you free up a lot of energy. So this is really the core of it. And anything else? And I think it's mostly, maybe I know it from my background. I took care of my father and many siblings, my relatives, and also my husband. Shortly after our marriage, had a motorbike accident. Is now at a spinal cord injury. Is now in a wheelchair, and I had to really learn how to take care of myself, to see how invisible all the caretakers are, and how important it is to always have a choice, to have the feeling you have a choice, and to concentrate on the things that are really working. And all of my knowledge and all of my experience really flows into my work.
Yeah. How do you work with people? What's the structure of it?
It's doing, I do workshops, just on different topics, maybe just like separate topics. For sibling stress, it's like it's your mother too. No, that's one of the headlines.
Right.
Or if it's why are your parents so stubborn, or why do they not let themselves be helped? And on just the overall duty what is what is really required in taking care of your parents, and all the acknowledgement that is never had around this. And I work, and the other work is one-on-one. It's via telephone or Zoom. And mainly it's really going the stages, why do you take care of it? What is the reason? And the reasons could be, if I do enough, then I finally get a thank you from my mother after all these years. Yeah. And if I do everything in my power, my mother will live forever. I can rescue my parents. There are really, or I can finally show my siblings, hey, I'm still worth it, even if I haven't studied. I can do it better than you. And also like the brother and sisters, like the special role of the sons, and like they are like the princess every time they pop in, and the daughter has to do all the work. And it's also about the liberation of the women. Why do they by default start taking the caregiving process, and the brothers mainly just like saying, okay, they delegating it, and so many daughters-in-laws do this as well. So
Beautiful. One way I could imagine also framing this is as that, hey, this is a kind of initiatory process. Like this, there can be so much personal growth that comes from this. This can be a chance to deal with a lot of long-standing issues in your life, with your family, with your siblings, yourself. This can be a real crucible moment if you approach it the right way. The biggest thing that keeps coming up for me is, so I mean, I took care of, I was a part of a team anyways that took care of my grandparents. Would visit as regularly as I could. I had shifts in it. And but if I imagine myself kind of being the only one, and it's all on me, the thought of taking a lot of extra time is rough. So there's so many thoughts I'm having. One is having some of this be pre-recorded, sort of DIY content that I can just I purchase and I can listen to it while I'm in the car. I don't have to show up at a certain time, would be very compelling to me. And useful. And so you might I'm just going to riff. These could be terrible ideas, but just ideas on structure. So it might be like, hey, all the content is pre-recorded, and you can go to the content that's most useful. I do have regular office hours and calls, but also you can send me a text or a message. You can, you send me a voice note with questions, and I'll get back to you. And we can track how much time is spent, but basically you get an hour of back and forth every week, and you can top it up and purchase more if you'd like. But sometimes I might just need to call. It's like, okay, my brother just said this and I don't know what to say. And then you could just give a personalized reply. So this could be part of a package. Because sometimes I'm just in the moment and I just need to reach out and vent or get another perspective. My sibling just said this to me and I don't know what to make of it, maybe. But the biggest thing is, do you have a kind of signature workshop on this?
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, I don't, of course, yes, I do have a signature workshop, which I do for the companies, which I'm
on this topic.
Yeah, it's basically just like the contents of my book. So
yeah, okay. So for everyone here, we'll see if we go to Bradley Morris. Okay. I'll just put this little search in the chat. But I do recommend for everyone, check out Bradley Morris's work around signature workshops if you haven't already. This is for, if you're a service provider, which most of you are, this is the most potent, powerful way to get clients I know of. Just start getting in front of people and talking about it. And Patrick, here's part of the challenge is there's Island A, there's Island B, but there's also Island C.
Mhm.
And I think part of the challenge is you're selling Island C. Yeah. Is that it's a result that's beyond what they think is. They're not even thinking about it. It's not even a possible thing. The thought that this could in any way be transformative for them
Mhm.
is not something that's occurred to them. So they're not craving it.
Yeah.
What they're craving is just some rest, probably. Like, I just need some space. Oh my God, I need support. I need this to stop.
I want my money. I want my life back. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Like, I just wanted to go back to normal.
Mhm.
I want to go back to the way it was before it was completely consumed with this caretaking, right? That's what they're craving.
Yeah.
What you're saying is, look, I'm putting words in your mouth, but this is what I would say to them. I might say to them something like this. So you want to go back to the way it was. Was that really working for you? Or were there some long-standing issues that weren't being addressed? Like, what if instead of going back to the way it was, you left this better and stronger? Not depleted and destroyed by it, necessarily, or not just that, but also transformed. You've grown, you've become stronger, you're more in touch with yourself. Maybe your family dynamics are better or clarified than they were. Like, what if it was that? And so then that's the case that needs to be made, or one of the cases that need to be made is the case for this is possible, right?
Yeah.
This result is possible. And the last thought I'll give is for a lot of you, when you write the headline, you're trying to articulate what you do, the Island A, Island B. There are a couple of three frames that I want to recommend. There's the without frame, the within frame, and the even if frame. Yeah. So without, within, even if. So the without frame is, the question is this. So Petra, what is it that these people are afraid they're going to have to do if they work with you?
But it takes a really long time. This
Like
is
a lot of time in terms of years or in terms of hours per day?
it's like even month long, like even like this is really like, and I think it's even more unspecific. It's like another task.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what I think. Another task on my all too long to-do list.
Okay. So you could say something like without, or this might be more the within frame, but like within the time that you have. You can add that as a tag. How to achieve XYZ result within the time you already have.
Okay.
Or without further overwhelming yourself. Look, we can get you to this result without more overwhelm, without more, necessarily more hours being spent. And then there's the even if frame. And the even if frame is, even if it seems impossible, even if you don't have any time for this, or even if you think you don't have any time for this, it's sometimes just useful to acknowledge these things. Like, look, we can get you this result, even if you think these are the real limits on it. Even if that, within those limits, we can still get you this result. But then the signature workshop has to make the case. And again, the purpose of the signature workshop fundamentally for everybody is you say, look, whether or not you work with me, here's the approach I recommend. Like, let me just give it all away. Here's the core approach. You can work with me, you can work with somebody else, but this is the way I suggest addressing this issue of, caretaking. and
Okay.
being overwhelmed and consumed by it. And you know, you share that, and then it's like, if that resonates with you and you would like some help, here's the offer. And then the last thing I would say is so there's three reasons they're not buying. Let's say four reasons. And for everyone, I invite you to think about your offers that aren't getting the response you want. Yeah. So everyone, think of an offer you've got that is like, man, the response is not quite as solid on this one as I wish it was. Maybe you're even surprised, like, why is this not getting a response? And here's the four filters in this order that I'd invite you to check it out. Number one, is the relevance established? Right? Like when they look at, did they say, oh, that's an issue I have. That's a result I want, very clearly. In this case, I'd say the relevance is probably there, you know, given the responses that Petra's been getting. But if they're not saying, wow, that's me, oh my God, I'm in that situation, you probably haven't even hit number one yet. And then that may be why it's falling apart, because they don't see the relevance. They're like, oh, that's cool work that you do. That's a nice boat that you have. I don't see that it goes to the island I want to go to, but nice boat. Number two is credibility, which is, why should I trust you? Okay, yes, I need help with that, but why would I trust you, your point of view, your philosophy on it? So that may be part of where this one's falling apart a little bit, is they don't know enough about your philosophy, your approach, which is where, or like a signature workshop they could either attend live or just watch a recording of, that you could just send them when after you talk with them. It's like, look, I know this is a lot. This is so overwhelming to even just think about this stuff. I'm going to send you a video. It's, you know, half an hour, it's an hour. It'll kind of give you my core point of view and philosophy on this. It'll probably have some helpful things for you right away. Let me send that to you. Yeah. Just as a credibility thing. And you can share your story, a bit about your point of view and all that. Number three, value. It might be that it's the structure of the offer itself. And this is, I think there may be some of that either they're not clear about the structure or the structure doesn't work for them. You know, they look at what you're offering, they're like, fuck no, I don't have time for that. There's no, God, that's way too much. And if you go to marketingforhippies.com/value slider, I believe it is. Let me just double check if that's true. Yeah, marketingforhippies.com/value slider. You can take any offer you have and run it through that, and it's going to give you some real candid feedback on where it's strong and where it's weak. The last thing is the risk piece. And if you go to marketingforhippies.com/risk, you'll see a whole essay on this. But it might be that there's just too much risk. I think it's probably number two, and number three for you, Petra. But that's the other thing to look at. Sometimes it's just there's so much risk of taking that first step, of spending the money. And if you can lower that risk, it makes a real big difference. But my guess is they don't fully understand your point of view. And there's something about the structure of the offer that they either don't understand or that isn't working for them. And if you could say, you know, so again, for example, though this may not be the right way, if they say, like, I can't take an evening a week to do a call, it's just, I'm already too busy. If you were to say, no, it's not that. There's a recording. You can listen to it at double speed while you're on a walk in the morning if you need to. And there's a meditation that you can download and listen to that's going to help you. And it's a 5-minute meditation just to get you back in touch with yourself. Or there's a series of these little meditations. Then you can just text me and message me whenever you want, and I'll get back to you. And P.S., if you do the texting or replying, there's probably stuff you have pre-written or videos you could send them. It's like, that's a great question. I've got a video on that. Here it is. Thank you so much. You know, save them looking for it. It could be something like that. Anyways, these are my thoughts. I should move on. But thank you so much.
Thank you. And then thank you all for your comments. And thank you, Ted. I'm looking forward to the membership.
Oh, good. It's good to have you in.